want to begin the second part of this program by introducing Laurie Patrick Muse, who's the president of the Wakefield Educational Foundation and my commander-in-chief. Laurie.
Good evening and welcome. We would like to thank all the students, teachers, staff, parents, and families for attending and supporting this third annual Celebration of Learning Awards banquet sponsored by the Wakefield Educational Foundation. All this week, all the schools have been having special programs, social studies fairs, regattas, etc. in celebration of learning. As you already know, the mission of the Wakefield Educational Foundation is to provide a vehicle for the community to acknowledge, support, and promote academic excellence. Anyone who is interested in contributing, small, medium, or large, to our endeavors is urged to contact someone on the board of directors. In addition to the WEF board and membership preparing tonight's evening, I need to give special thanks to Susan Majeski, Shara Peterman, Sue Warden, and the volunteers from the high school student council who helped Sue Warden set up and serve. So please give a round of applause for these generous people. Our congratulations to the award recipients. This is a proud evening. I would like to introduce and thank Mr. Ralph Benson from our board of directors for agreeing to be the master of ceremonies tonight. So at this time, I'd like to turn the evening over to Ralph. Thank you very much.
Let's back up again. I'd like to introduce the chairman of the school committee, Jeff Foxon, who will bring the greetings of the school committee, and also introduce the members who are here. Jeff?
Thank you, Ralph. I bring the greetings this evening of the Wakefield School Committee. I'd like to first start by introducing the members that are here. If you could please rise. Bill Chetwynd over on my left. Manny Tetch. Bob Benson. And John Bovis. I'd like to start by saying that there's a program error. It says 7:15 and then 7:20, the superintendent comes on. It'll be about 7:60, and I'm going to be very brief. It's nice to see so many people here this evening. It's a wonderful cause. The Wakefield Education Foundation does an incredible amount of work for the children in Wakefield. And I would also like to echo my congratulations to not only the students that are here tonight, but to the staff, the administrators, the volunteers, and everybody. An event like this does prove that it is very, very possible to get a good education in Wakefield, despite what you may hear from other people. Education is alive and well in Wakefield, and it's due to people like you, with all your support and all your help, that we're able to put on such a successful program. To the students that are here getting awards tonight, I would like to thank them for their academic excellence, and the younger ones, keep up the good work. We had an absolutely impressive high school graduation ceremony last Sunday, and I'd like to see all the students here go through the same type of graduation ceremony. It was a wonderful day, an absolutely incredible group of young students, and I'd like to thank Ron Stravinsky for such a fine job that day as well. Once again, I'd just like to thank the Wakefield Education Foundation for all the support they give to the school department, and thank everybody for being here this evening. Thank you.
Very much, Jeff. Okay, we're about to begin the reason why you came here is to give the awards to the students. We want to begin with the elementary school students. So if I could have, we want to begin with the Joel Bear School with Marge McGrath, principal. If Marge, the students from Joel Bear could come up here.
This opportunity to congratulate two of our fourth graders from the Joel Bear School, Amber Lynn Beninati to my right, and to her right, Laura Toby. Fourth graders who have exemplified our school theme this year in showing an A+ attitude, being respectful to
we have Dr. Dan Shorman, principal of the Doyle School and the Walton School.
Okay, will the students from Doyle and Walton please come up? Bethany, Joseph, Heather, and Matthew. Okay, I'm very pleased to be here this evening to recognize two Doyle School and two Walton School. The missing Walton School student, I understand, is at his baseball game and will be arriving in uniform shortly. These fourth graders were nominated by the faculty and staff of their respective schools based on the following criteria. Number one, leadership qualities. Number two, kindness and consideration of others. 3, outstanding effort, attitude, and work habits. And 4, academic excellence. They are positive role models who are admired by both their teachers and their classmates. And I'm very happy to recognize this evening Bethany Robertson and Joseph Flynn from the Doyle School, Heather Moulton and Matthew Powers, who will be arriving shortly from the Walton School. Congratulations. Matthew, you're right on cue. They're winning.
I want to offer my special congratulations to Joe and Bethany. I was their guest reader at the Doyle School for 3 years. I had the good fortune to follow them through the first, second, and third grades. I was there once a month, and I can vouch that they are just terrific kids. Now I'm back in the first grade, but someday I'll catch up with you guys. Next I'd like to introduce Jim Boyd, principal of the Franklin and Montrose School.
And indeed, it's a pleasure for me to be here tonight, too, to recognize 4 students from the Montrose and the Franklin School. And I would ask those 4 children if they could come up now, please. We did it a little bit differently. I went up to the 4th grade classrooms, and we sort of talked about it as a class and what criteria we would like to create for the boys and girls to be recognized tonight. And the kids came up with a lot of their own ideas, which are very similar to what you've already heard. But one other criteria that I particularly liked that the kids came up with was a student who makes the school community a better place for everybody to be. And I asked all of the kids, they needed to pick 3 children from their classroom, and it was rewarding to hear one of the kids, we only picked 3. They really wanted to pick more, and I think that's indicative of the type of kids that go to those schools. They're really great kids. From the Franklin School, we have Ariana Gomez and Ashley Jones, and from the Montrose School, we have Lauren DeGuglielmo and Michelle McNall. Congratulations.
In the Greenwood School, we have Patty Barrett, principal, who's here on a wing of trail.
I'd like to ask the students from the Greenwood School to come forward, please. Our theme at the Greenwood School is Celebrate Character. Greenwood School, where character counts. And these 5 students from the Greenwood School were selected by their peers as students who demonstrate our school theme of character counts. They're being recognized for the attitudes of respect, responsibility, compassion, perseverance, honesty, self-discipline, acceptance, cooperation, and friendship. And again, we have a lot of wonderful students at Greenwood, so it's really an honor to recognize these 5 boys and girls. It's my pleasure to honor Dylan Forrester, Evan Petty, Matthew Tonito, Ryan O'Donnell, and Sarah Schofield.
Moving up the ladder, we have from the Galvin Middle School Principal Dr. Paula Mullen.
Good evening, everyone. At the middle school, we have the students arranged into teams, and we have 12 teams in our school. And I asked each team, I don't like this in front of anybody, just get that out. Thank you. Now I feel better. I asked each team of teachers to nominate one child to be honored tonight that best represented our core values at the Galvin Middle School. And our core values are commitment, achievement, respect, and enthusiasm. And if you take the first letter of those 4 words, it spells the word care. And caring is what underlines every single thing we do in education every single day. I'm going to ask the students to come up, and I'm going to ask you to hold your applause until they're all up here. From the 5th grade, in the Mighty Militia, Jacqueline Carvelis. From the 5th grade Minutemen, Caitlin Boyle. From the Colonials, Julia Fee. And from the Rebels, Lauren McMillan. From the 6th grade, the Knights, Eileen DeGregorio. The Warriors, Jessica Means. And the Crusaders, William Guerin. From the 7th grade, the Mind Travelers, Megan Quinn. And the Voyagers, Lee J. Marasilo. And from the 8th grade, the Patriots, Brian Jermusic. From the Bostonians, Stephanie Huter. And from the Cyclones, Maria Contos. Please come up, kids.
far as we can go in Wakefield is Wakefield High School Principal Ron Straminsky.
Thank you, Ralph. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Wakefield Memorial High School, welcome to our cafeteria. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I made a little note when I walked in here tonight to remind Ralph and Lauren that the school colors are red and white. I thought I was in Norton High School tonight, and I got back in my car and realized I really was not. But, they tell me that purple represents royalty and commands respect, and so perhaps purple is an appropriate color for tonight's ceremonies. I'm going to ask the members of Wakefield Memorial High School who are being honored tonight to come up here and join me. Notice how bashful they are when they get to this age. You notice on your program we're honoring 6 high school students. 2 were unable to be with us tonight. But I do want to say something about both of those students, beginning with Matt Calley. Matt is an honor student here in the junior class. He's been elected the soccer captain now for 2 years in a row. He also plays basketball and baseball, and his guidance counselor said to me this week he's just a terrific all-around young man who leads by example on the field as well as off of the field. And that he's a great role model for the younger generation. I'm sorry Matt couldn't be here, but we'll be sure to deliver his award to him. Also, Raphael Dutour is the only member of this group who indeed is an underclassman. Raphael is a sophomore, and he was nominated by the team leader of the English department. Rafi is a member of Judy Bodie's office technology class, and during the latter part of the year, he was assigned to the team leader, Susan McDonough, in English. And she was so impressed with the way he handled himself as a sophomore, reflecting the kind of training that we expect coming out of our business department. He had written an excellent resume, he had presented himself appropriately, and offered just outstanding services that we couldn't help but want to have Rafi here tonight to honor him. And I thank you, Judy Bodie, for preparing him. To my right are 4 outstanding members of the junior class here at Wakefield Memorial High School, beginning with Caitlin Dwyer. Caitlin, come on over here so that everybody knows who's who. I know you don't recognize her out of her basketball uniform, and I told you to wear flats tonight so that you wouldn't be, did you? I wanted to look. By the time she graduates, we'll all be looking up to her. Caitlin has been an honor student here in Wakefield High School for 3 years. She leads by example. She's both the varsity soccer star and basketball star for 2 years. Her teachers describe her as applying herself consistently to the best of her ability, both in the classroom and on the athletic field. Aside from that, her peers have elected her as a PTSA representative here at Wakefield Memorial High School. Caitlin, come over here for just a minute. Not going to get away from me not saying a few words. Caitlin, what's it like to be on a basketball team as successful as Wakefield?
I lost words, I don't know. It's great to be on a starter like us. We have our team.
Don't say any more, you'll outshine me. Caitlin Dwyer, thank you very much. Kirsten Neal, come on. Kirsten Neal is an honor student in the junior class. I think, Kirsten, you're the first student that I met when I came to Wakefield 5 years ago. She was in the 6th grade, and she and I had dinner together. You remember that? Sure you do. Are you embarrassed about that? Don't be. It was wonderful. Kirsten's heavily involved in music and drama, and if you were fortunate enough to be at the Galvin Auditorium, you saw her most recently in Pirates of Penzance, and she was just outstanding. She's involved in the marching band and in the orchestra, as well as currently holding the office of Treasurer of the Chamber Singers. If you haven't purchased your Chamber Singer CD, I'll say it for you absolutely have to get a copy of this CD. Maybe some of you don't know that our Chamber Singers, in fact, recorded a CD. I bought it on a Friday, and I didn't turn it off the entire weekend. That's how excellent it is. Kirsten's also captain of the math team, and she's also participated in the Wakefield Repertory Theater for some 10 years. And she says her interests are French, she gets that from her mom. Mathematics, she gets that from her dad. And music, she gets that from Kim Smith and Ron Shabaro. Congratulations. Tell us about recording a CD. I've done lots of things. I've never done that. Where did you do that?
Well, we were at a recording studio in Boston, and it was a different experience. Basically, it was just kind of nice singing the song we recorded and then going to be able to listen to it and hearing ourselves.
Great. Kirsten Neal, thank you so much. Shelby, come on over. Shelby Nickerton is an honors and advanced placement student here at Wakefield Memorial High School, member of the junior class. She's also an outstanding athlete and leader in soccer and our track program. Shelby was the recipient of the Wellesley Book Award at our recent Senior Awards Night, which is a particular honor because just a selected handful of juniors are invited to Senior Awards Night, making Shelby one of our top-ranking juniors here at the high school. She displays leadership within our school and in the community, and she is in the peer leadership program and is a representative to the local drug and alcohol task force. In addition, Shelby serves and has just recently been reelected as a representative of her class to the PTSA. Shelby, come on over here and what would you like me to ask you, Shelby? Something easy. Shelby is a track star here at the high school. She runs fast and jumps long. How did you get started in track? You said ask you something. You say the right word. Is it a chicken? I don't remember, Mr. Holmes. You're older than I. Does the chicken come down and pay $50?
I just signed up for our freshman year. I didn't have any high expectations.
I need to tell you, this girl is a record-setting athlete at the high school. Congratulations. Margot Kissel. Margot, come on over. Margot's an outstanding member of our junior class here at WHS. And she's an honor student, highly motivated, and a delight to have in class, according to her teachers. Nothing could say more about a student than that. It's really neat. Margot's a wonderful athlete who carries a very, very impressive resume in track. She's a member of the cross-country, indoor and outdoor track teams, and already holds several school and league records. She's a person of integrity, character, is well respected by her peers and faculty alike. Margot really is a story because Margot, you weren't an athlete before you came here, were you? You know, Shelby said she went out for the team. This girl, I mean, when you think about breaking league records in the Middlesex League and school records, you are really doing something. I tried to chase her down the corridor last week and I couldn't catch her. But Margot, how did you get involved? How did that happen?
I played field hockey before I did track, and Coach Steve Commander saw me running around and he wanted me to run track, so he made Mr. Duff sign me up. And I've just been running.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations to that. Thank you.
Watertown. Let's have one round of applause for all the students who received. I will now get involved in a little bit of role reversal. I will now assist my assistant. I'd like to introduce Terry Holmes, Superintendent of Schools, who will do the awards to the Wakefield School Administration.
I need another assistant, Ralph, and I'm sure the bank would put you on loan for a year, so thank you.
We already have it.
Yeah. It's my great pleasure to be here for the third annual Celebration of Learning. Again, a dream that I was able to communicate to the Wakefield Educational Foundation, and one they helped realize. Again, it's a great pleasure to stop for a moment each year in the hectic pace of schooling and celebrate the kind of success that we have all around us here tonight. As a part of the process, each year we invite nominations from the public. We invite staff to recognize staff. We invite the public to advance proposals to us. And whereas we're not always able to honor all those people that come forward, we make a major attempt every year to recognize those people who have done outstanding things for schools and for the community. And one of the first honorees tonight that I have the pleasure to deal with was honored and nominated by Tina Lorstow. And Tina, as many of you perhaps know, is the director of our food service program here for the Wakefield Public Schools, and is certainly one who gives outstanding service to our community. She's unable to be here tonight because she's had recent surgery on her foot, but she would certainly love to be here to honor Nancy Campbell. So could I have Nancy come forward, and I'll try and say a few nice words about Nancy. And Nancy, relax. I'm not going to ask you like Mr. Straminsky to make a speech. Thank God, right. I need to introduce a very special person to you tonight. Nancy is a reasonably new food service worker. She began in September in 1998. She witnessed a third grade student in great distress and was able to recognize the need of that student for the Heimlich maneuver. And in fact, we have a young lady here tonight who has saved the life of a third grader. So I'd ask you to join me in celebrating with Nancy that wonderful venture that she performed. Thank you, Nancy. Rose DeTulli, our Deputy Superintendent, to come forward and make a presentation.
I have one of the greatest jobs because I get to work with all the administrators, teachers, and go into all the classrooms and see all the students. And in doing my job, I see the dedication of all our staff, especially the teachers. We have many committees, we have many staff development opportunities, and they only work because we have dedicated staff. Many of those people put tireless hours into making sure that we get done what needs to get done in curriculum. This year, I would like to recognize one of those people, Ann Graham. Ann, would you come up? Ann is very, very special. She has been working for the last 5 or 6 years at the state level, and it's really quite an honor for Wakefield to have one of its teachers be selected to work on developing the English Language Arts state frameworks, as well as developing the MCAS test, and then in addition to that, to developing and working on the scoring of those MCAS tests. Ann is one of the leaders in that. She also has been involved with portfolio assessment, getting a grant for that several years ago, and bringing that knowledge back. In all these endeavors, Ann always brings information back to the district. to share with other staff members. She is extremely generous in that regard. This year, the principals at the elementary level had the idea of taking the MCAS prompt, writing prompt, and giving students a sample writing prompt. That's a great idea, but somebody then has to go and score those tests. Anne was there. With the knowledge that she had, she trained every high school English teacher. She trained a cadre of middle school and elementary teachers. And then when all the essays were done, and they must be over 1,000 essays, I believe you must have corrected this year, they would work on Saturdays to correct these according to the state rubric, and then give back comments to the students so that they could learn from them and grow. And we thank you very much for your endeavor in this area. We thank you for sharing with us. We thank you for helping us to meet the high standards that we want all our students to achieve. Thank you, Anne.
The next person we'd like to recognize tonight was nominated by parents. And again, I ask those of you out there who are parents and working with teachers, that you take the opportunity next year to recognize, put forward a recognition for the teachers that work with your children. I received the most wonderful letter from this parent, trying to recognize the work that this very young teacher is doing with their child. I would ask Karen McGinnis to come forward, please. Karen is a second-year teacher with us. The first year she spent at the Yule School, and this year she's a grade 4 teacher at the Greenwood. Karen, on Friday afternoons, does extra help sessions for the children in her room. Friday afternoons. A lot of teachers, a lot of superintendents like to go home on Friday afternoon. But Karen stays around to help kids. Karen's a committee person. She serves on 5 different school-based committees. Karen makes learning fun. She recognizes the individual strengths of her students, and she makes her students enjoy what they do. And she enjoys a natural rapport with all of her students. So in recognition of a lot of very young and talented students tonight, I'd like to recognize Karen McGinnis. The next recipient is not able to be with us tonight, but I really feel it quite appropriate that we spend a few moments anyway recognizing the work of this gentleman. Joe Long was recognized and nominated by the office staff in the superintendent's office. Joe Long is the school district courier. He is that person you see driving about town delivering school committee packets, taking things to town hall, always doing things for others. So I thank the central office staff for nominating and recognizing the work of Joe Long. Joe, for those of you who don't know him, is a very pleasant, easygoing, a guy who never says no. He always asks, what can I do to help? He never asks any questions. He gets it done. And always in his very best quality, with one of the most pleasant smiles you'd ever see. Please recognize Joe Long with me. I'm going to ask Dr. Nolan to come back up and help me with the Staff Recognitions Award at the middle school.
Terry. My definition of a hero is an ordinary person who does extraordinary things. And quite honestly, tonight, this room is full of heroes. And in fact, our school department is full of heroes. We've nominated 4 teachers from the Galvin to be honored this evening who go above and beyond the call of duty and do hundreds of things for kids every single day that nobody ever notices. I would like to ask Susan Conley to come up. Susan has taught for 18 years, 14 years in Wakefield. She is currently a 5th grade classroom teacher at the Galvin Middle School. Susan has served on the school council, been a WEA rep, been secretary for the faculty forum, been a member of the crisis team, served on the language arts curriculum committee, math curriculum committee, and will be on our instructional team, support team next year. Susan is the type of teacher that no matter what I go down to that 5th grade and say, I need such and such done, don't worry, don't worry, we'll get it done. Please join me in honoring Susan Conley tonight. Shireen Hogan is unable to be here this evening because she had bought plays for a ticket 6 months ago. But again, I would like to let you know who Shireen is. Shireen has taught in Wakefield for 14 years. She's a moderate special needs teacher at the Galvin. She's been a member of numerous committees over the years and an active member of our faculty. This year, she ran a homework club for at-risk 6th grade students just because she knew they needed it. She is caring, dedicated, and very hardworking. It is a pleasure to honor Shireen Hogan this evening. Jerry Carboni, Jerry, grade 7. Jerry has been a 7th grade math teacher at the Galvin since 1976. During her career, she's held the positions of Assistant Math Department Chair, Master Teacher, and she's currently a team leader. She is a member of numerous professional organizations. She has served as a member of the Faculty Council, Faculty Forum, and Mathematics Curriculum Committee. She's been a presenter at the New England League of Middle Schools Regional Conference. Jerry is a superb teacher and a professional in the truest sense of the word. When I need advice on a decision, very, very often I go to Jerry because she's level-headed, she's a great thinker, and she really cares about our school and this community. It gives me great pleasure this evening to honor Jerry Carboni. Finally, last but certainly not least, Diane Regan, grade 8. Diane? Long overdue Diane. Diane has been teaching English in Wakefield since 1967. She serves as the English Department Coordinator, Literary Magazine Advisor, and represents the middle school on too numerous committees to mention. What differentiates Diane from most teachers is the enormous amount of behind-the-scenes work that she does. She has coordinated every 8th grade graduation since 1976. She coordinates at least one major fundraiser each year for a local charity, and she runs the Mary Sunshine Fund for the Galvin. She organizes raffles to support the CSF. She organizes parties for almost any occasion. And she's always the first one to volunteer when help is needed. I coached basketball for many, many years. And in basketball, we always have what we call a go-to player. And your go-to player is the player you go to when you need 2 points. You need a basket. And so that's where that phrase go-to comes from. But let me tell you, Diane is my go-to teacher at the Galvin Middle School. Please join me in recognizing Diane Regan.
Next, we have several staff members from the high school, and I'd invite Mr. Straminsky to come back and give out those awards.
Dr. Mullen, could I have Jerry Carbone's extension? I have some decisions to make tonight. I have 3 special members of the Wakefield Memorial High School staff that are being honored tonight, beginning with Margaret Copey. Margaret, come on forward. I'm taller than Margaret Copey. It's true. Margaret has been with us at Wakefield, only with me 5 years, because she was here long before I got here. 1921, 22 she started. Actually, I think it was 1986 that Margaret joined us. She got sick and tired of the brats at Harvard University, and said she was looking for a challenge, so she came to Wakefield. And ever since Margaret Copey came to Wakefield, the smile you see on her face tonight is the smile that the students see when they enter her advanced placement biology course or enter her astronomy and oceanography courses here at the high school. She's an outstanding teacher. She is also the type of person who is always there when there is committee work to be done. She's a regular member of the Professional Development Committee that meets down in the bowels of this school every now and then, and we talk about what we can do for teachers and for kids, and Margaret is always there with ideas and thoughts. She's also the co-chairman of the PALMS group, which is a partnership in the study of math and science, and Margaret has worked tirelessly to, again, bring better education to the young people here in Wakefield. If you've read the senior profiles of our graduation class, her name pops up in those profile interviews of our seniors more often than any other teacher in the high school. It's because of the high degree of respect that students have for her, and it's a pleasure working with her each and every day here at the high school. Congratulations, Margaret. Next, Ms. Jean Kelly, if you would come forward. I'm taller than Jean Kelly. Jean's only been with us for 3 years, and I had a wonderful opportunity when she came to this school to talk with her. She came to us from the Boston school system, and she came here with lots of valuable insights and valuable experiences. Jean is a member of our special needs department. In fact, she is a co-teacher with Margaret Copey in an inclusion class here in science. And again, Jean is the kind of a person that when there are things to be done, she can be relied upon. She was elected by the members of the faculty to serve on our school council and has been regular in her attendance and verbal in her ideas and supportive of all the things that we want to do here. She's also stepped forward to be a class advisor here for the class of 2000. I appreciate the work she's done. I know that she's gained an enormous amount of respect from her peers here at the high school in just 3 short years. A real professional, Jean Kelly. Our third honoree from the high school is Jerry Rigby. Jerry? There he is. Jerry is not a math teacher because the straight line Jerry would have been for coming. Jerry is my height. No, he's not taller. More for him if he's tall. Jerry, you don't know this, but you've been my idol for years. Jerry Rigby, when I decided that I wanted to be a talk show host back in I used to often listen to WGBH radio and television. And if you remember, 1981, Jerry, was it, right? Used to turn it on, and Jerry was the executive producer, host, water boy, cameraman. He did it all for a show called, I was going to say Soapdish, but it was Soapbox, right? Wasn't it? It was Soapbox. And I used to watch that and say, boy, I wish I could do that. And Jerry was good at it, and did like... Keep working at it, Ron. Someday. Not a chance, Jerry. Jerry would have come to Wakefield sooner, but he always likes to keep the best for last. And so it was that Jerry traveled through about 4 school systems before he discovered the Summit. He spent some time in Newburyport. He spent some time in Amesbury. He spent some time in Triton. If I get the next one right, can I win the jackpot? I don't remember the other one, but he was in 4 systems before he came here. And when he came here as a school psychologist. And he did a lot of work, and a lot of teachers and a lot of principals had lots of nice things to say about Jerry Rigby. And I said, someday I'm going to grab this guy and bring him here to the high school. Did you notice I was writing down all the names of the teachers on it here tonight? At some point, they'll be at the high school before their career is over. And Jerry decided also that wouldn't it be neat if I could just stay at the high school? And so Jerry came to see me and said, do you think you can bail me out and get me away from these other principals? I'd really like to work with you. Did you say? Jerry is the alternative school coordinator here at the high school. He's also a school psychologist. He's a very, very talented young man. And he's kind of a breath of fresh air among young people who are struggling to get through high school. He's the kind of a person that young people know they can approach, they can talk to him about any subject and get real, calm, firm advice. And Jerry, I appreciate the work that you do here from day to day. We're going to be working even more closely together in the future. And next time I see you, I want you to be 3 inches shorter. Congratulations.
Mr. Benson, at 15 minutes we gained, and to introduce Mr. Stravinsky, you lose 15 minutes. Next, we'd like to have special recognition for those people who have indicated that it is their wish to retire this year. And it is a wish that certainly has both a salt and pepper message in it. Certainly, we look to the future with them with the great enthusiasm and best wishes, but certainly the pepper that we lose the valuable and wonderful wisdom of these people in our system. First of all, can I ask Carl Buckley to come forward? been most recently in the high school English staff program here at the high school. Started in business education when she first came to Wakefield Schools 10 years ago. And we all join you in celebrating your retirement and offer you best wishes. Thank you, Carla. We also have a wonderful little gift for the retirees tonight, and with a little inscription on it, it's a wonderful pen. Of course, when they retire, they don't need pens anymore. It's like when you give people watches when they retire. They don't need them anymore. But it's a wonderful gift. Congratulations. Our second retiree is Arthur Cale. I don't think Arthur is with us tonight, but I certainly would like to bring additional recognition to Arthur. He's been in the Wakefield Public Schools for 34 years. He's a science teacher here in the high school. He has served as the president of the Wakefield Education Association, served with distinction, and I remember certainly the year that he served was one of the better years that we've ever had communicating between the central office, Dr. Levine, and Art Cahill. Art Cahill is a voice of toughness, but also of reason. So I invite you to join me in honoring Arthur Cahill. The third retiree tonight is Sally Freeman. Could I ask Sally to come up, please? Sally thought she was really pretty clever about a year ago. She came in the day after school, stopped, and said she thought she'd retire, but she didn't want any fanfare, so she waited until the day after school closed. Of course, that didn't dissuade us. We had a wonderful party. The Wakefield Education Association put on a wonderful party for her. And again, I want very much also for the Wakefield Education Foundation to recognize Sally. Sally had worked for us since 1967. She retired a year ago, but we invited her back tonight to be recognized. She has a very special way with young children. She was an adjustment counselor. And again, like my friend Joe Long, Sally has one of the most wonderful smiles. Please join me in honoring Sally. Our fourth retiree is Barbara Paris, and could I invite Barbara to come forward? Barbara Paris has been 30 years in Wakefield. She's worked most of that time at the Galvin Middle School as a home economics teacher. She spent 26 years, I guess, at the middle school in that profession. She's a dedicated teacher, a distinguished professional. Please join me in thanking Barbara Paris. Retiree has been hinting around for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and then the other day made it official. Could I invite Rita Willett to come up, please? Rita has been most everyone's taller than I am. Rita has served as the secretary to the supervisor of buildings and grounds, working out of our office. She's worked 11 years in that position. I looked through her file to find some wonderful things to say about her, and I noted that she had perfect scores on her evaluations. She's most cooperative. She has a wonderful attitude. And better than all of that, she just has the most wonderful sense of humor. Please help me thank Rita Willett. Next, we'd like to recognize a number of volunteers that have served the school department in many different ways. The first honoree tonight, it is with a bit of sadness. For you see, our first honoree tonight passed away this past year. She has been nominated by Jim Boyd and people at the Montrose School. Janet Austin just worked tirelessly, even while ill, for the children at the Montrose School. She was a library volunteer, she was a computer mother, a room mother, always first to stand forward and volunteer. She passed away this past year while waiting for a lung transplant. She still came to work to help out in that school. So please, would I invite her husband to come forward, Brian Flynn, and the children, if they're here. I'd like for all of you to join in helping me celebrate the life and work of Janet Austin. The next honoree is Cy Bodie. Could I have Cy come forward, please? Thank you, sir. Cy Bodie, most of you know for his 2 terms on the school committee, where he certainly was a strong advocate for those students often who weren't necessarily the top academic students. He would scold me often for not looking out for those students who were sometimes often underrepresented through different school department activities. He was a great advocate for those kids, assuring that we had programming for those kids. You perhaps also know Cy Bodie as one who has volunteered extensively in his community, working with young people in baseball. And he is a guy that likes to win. Please join me in honoring Cy Bodie. The next honoree is Mae Brennan. Could you come up, Mae, please? I won't ask Mr. Saminsky to come up and interview you or make you say his speech. Mae was nominated by Mr. Saminsky and the high school office staff as a volunteer who comes in. She helps in the principal's office, doing filing, and just about any odd job that they can find for her. She's identified mostly by a person who wears interesting hats.
All those dinosaurs wear hats.
She certainly is also a very stylish dresser. But better than that, she's well respected and loved by all in the high school. Thank you, Mae Brennan.
I just have to say that the reason I think this is kind of fun, and it's the truth, all summer. No TV, no radio, no computer, no nothing. Outside shower. And I haven't come back here to be re-educated. I'm living all wrong.
You're doing great. Next, I'd like to recognize Kevin Campanella. Could Kevin come up, please? Kevin works with a firm, Metcalf and Eddy, who have, since I've been in Wakefield, always as a firm stepped forward to volunteer resources, both human and otherwise, to support Wakefield Public Schools. Kevin has been individually instrumental in helping with a tutorial program, one that helps young people over hurdles in our school. And so I'd ask you to join me in thanking Kevin Campanella for his efforts. The next volunteer is Michael Lanfield. Would you come up, Michael? Many of you perhaps recognize Michael as a former student at Wakefield High School. A young man who went off and got himself educated, become a very successful young man. I got to know Michael very early when he became involved in the Dolbear School Building Project and was quickly promoted to be chair of that committee. The chair during the times when we were beginning the foundation of that new school in all kinds of ways, negotiating contracts, certainly working with architects, assuring that that school got off on the right foot. And it has, and it will, and we look forward to opening that school in September. Michael's also a new dad, and so we look forward to him as a future leader. I've even been known to attempt to recruit him to run the school committee. Michael, thanks for all you've done, and thank you from Wakefield. The next volunteer is Winona Manley. Would you come up, Winona? Noni has also been actively involved with the Dolbear School Building Committee. She served as the vice chairman of that committee. She's the detail person. She's the one that's been scurrying about all year, making sure all the little things get done for that project. From ordering furniture to making sure the playground equipment was in, to keeping real close track of that architect, making sure that every little detail is taken care of. I have to tell you a little story about Noam. She came into my office one day just after that big vote where we had presented 3 new elementary schools to the community. She said, you know, Mr. Holmes, I voted no for that project. But I'm here today to see how I can help get something done for the young people of this community. And so I commandeered her early. I got her involved in that building committee, and she's gone on to serve well. And certainly the detail work will serve us very well as we open that new school. If you don't know her, you should. She's direct. She's very strong-willed. She is bluntly honest. And she is just a wonderful volunteer in this community. Please help me thank Winona Manley. The last volunteer tonight is Charlotte Wood. Would Charlotte come up, please? Charlotte Wood was nominated by Dr. Mullen and the staff at the middle school, where she volunteers in the library. For the last 2 years, she's given each year over 400 hours of 500 hours each year of volunteer service in our library. She's helped weed out book collections. She's helped work with young people. She's a wonderful person and just a joyful helper. Thank you, Charlotte Wood. We have a number of additional volunteers, and I'm going to ask Lauren Paxton to come up and help me with these awards. Well, I'll help you.
It gives me great pleasure to present the next 4 awards. Community volunteers are so important to the survival of education. Ralph Benson. Would you please come up, please? Ralph Benson is on the board of directors of WEF, but he wears so many hats you'd be astonished. First of all, he's a vice president.
Don't tell Brian.
He's a vice president at the Savings Bank and is involved in the sponsorship of the first educational savings bank at the high school, the Savings Club program for elementary and Galvin children, the senior prom parade at the Common, to name a few. But did you know that he was practically the original guest reader at the Doyle School, is on the Doyle School Council, is in Kiwanis, is involved in the Kid Identification Program, is a friend of the Council of Aging, and that is only to name a few. Ralph is everywhere. So Ralph, for your intense commitment to the children of Wakefield and your commitment to education, I hereby present you with a Celebration of Learning Award. Ted Gross, would you come forward, please? Ted is on our board, but that is not why he was getting an award, although he's one of the WEF founding fathers and maintains our webpage. Ted has been involved in the Music Boosters program for years, and at a time when he shouldn't say yes to one more thing, he becomes involved in the high school council as well as many other areas. He's been actively involved in education at many different levels for years, and for that reason, we are proud to present you, Ted, with a Celebration of Learning Award. Ethel Caloris is a faithful member of WEF, attending all its meetings and contributing to upholding the highest principles of education. But did you know that she was an elementary teacher in Linfield for years, that she and her husband and Roger Maloney started the Wakefield Recreation Commission, that she was one of the original WEF members and that she had also stored the fitness stations that are behind the high school in her garage, and she contributes time on Saturdays and whenever to sell our fundraising tickets, and she will talk with anyone and everyone about the positive effects of education and how important our children are and our schools are. And she knows everyone downtown. She couldn't be here tonight, but for spreading these important values and being a positive influence and role model in our community, we present Ethel Caloris with the Celebration of Learning Award. Tony Petrofetta, please come forward. Tony is the outgoing president of WEF. He is one of the original directors and was instrumental in keeping it active and afloat for these now 10 years. He is our tax compliance officer, but more so, he brings a level head, an educated insight, and a commitment to education to our board that is necessary and important. Tony exemplifies quality community involvement at the highest level, and for these reasons, we thank him and proudly present him with the Celebration of Learning Award. Thank you very much.
the wonderful tradition of the Celebration of Learning program has been the honoring of people who have dedicated 25 years of service to the Wakefield Public Schools. And so I would like tonight ask these folks to come forward and get a certificate, also a flower, which if they look closely, they'll find a nice little lapel pin that indicates their years of service. Could I first ask Judy Bodie to come forward? Next, Richard Giacolillo. Arthur Fairfield. Frank Gersony. Next, Cynthia Gims. Barbara Hanson. Gee, 2 kisses tonight. David Mayo. Monica Natler, please. Cynthia Carrillo. Agnes Boyle, please. Thomas Tui. And Sharon Severio, please. Next, those people who have dedicated 35 years of service to the Wakefield Public Schools. And again, with great thank yous and admiration for dedication and the wisdom that they bring to this school department. Robert Bazaker. for some warm fuzzies, huh? Jim Duff. Joanne McCarthy. And Nancy Minicello. And for our last award of the evening, I would invite Lauren to join me, as I'd also invite Sandy Scully to come up and help us with this final award.
Last year, the Wakefield Educational Foundation established the William C. Scully Jr. Award in recognition of Mr. Scully's courage and his commitment to the highest educational ideals. We've asked Terry Holmes and our special guest to make this year's presentation.
I would invite Chris Bridges to come forward, please. She really was surprised, wasn't she? Most of you know Chris, but let me tell you a little bit more about her. She has a doctorate in health behavior education. She's a lifelong learner. In fact, she's a Latin scholar. She's very humble and giving and compassionate. She's a professor at Mass General Institute of Health Professions. She served 4 years on the school committee, 2 years as chairperson, which would give her a special award right there, right? She's been a PTO co-president for Little Red and also at the Walton School. In 1995, you perhaps remember her as Christie and the Woman of the Year for the Wakefield Business and Professional Women's Association. She's co-chair of the Health Education Committee with our school district. She's even coached Little League and Wakefield Basketball League. She's been a wonderful fundraiser for Odyssey of the Mind and many other countless activities where her generosity has been well known. Chris Bridges is indeed generous, caring. Chris Bridges is just a beautiful human being, and it is my great pleasure to ask you to join me in recognizing Chris, and let me read this citation, please. William C. Scully Jr. Award, the honor is bestowed on Dr. Christine Bridges for her decency, for her generosity, for her community service, commitment to her family, to her friends and colleagues, and for the ideals she represents so highly. Sandy, would you give that award? Thank you for your wonderful participation tonight. Thank you for coming out, and thank you for helping us honor these people. And I turn the podium back to Ralph Dempsey.
Just for your information, I could be president of the bank, but I spend so much time out volunteering and having fun. And I've given that up as one of my goals. I'd much rather be here than just the BANK. The last announcement I have to make, I was just told by the kitchen we have a lot of extra cakes. To all you children with a sweet tooth who so richly deserve another award tonight, if you just go to the back table. Again, it's been our pleasure from the Wakefield Educational Foundation to sponsor this event, and we certainly look forward to seeing you next year. Thank you very much.
I want to make sure I have your name right. Oh, I'm sure you will.